found live here at River Ridge High School in Lacey, Washington. Comrades, you are late. You are late. I will need to see you after class. This is the 7th time this week. I hope you're just paying attention to the show on time. That would be cool. Actually, do you have a hall pass? You're walking around the school without a hall pass? What the hell? I'm going to call the JROTC on you, and they're gonna fuck you up. You can't keep walking around without your hall pass. Comrades, I'm messing with you, obviously. But it's good to see you, and welcome to the News Left. I'm your host, Miguel. Allegedly. To some people. I'll tell you, not to the staff or the admin of the River Ridge High School. We're going to talk about this. Do you wonder why I'm making these pointed remarks? These pointed jokes about schools? Am I just sitting here drinking beer and coming up with these jokes? No, it relates to exactly what we've been talking about in the last episode. In that the students are on strike. However, today, a couple comrades and I decided to make our way over to show support like they'd been asking for. And just to interview people, because we're journalists. Members of the press, if you will. And of course we go, and we start to walk around, talk to people, take a couple photos, and we're approached, and we're told that my friend needed to take off his jacket. Why? Oh my god. He's wearing a patch that's Dead Kennedys. This is Nazi punks fuck off. You know? Like, pretty based. Cool based. Like, based, you know? That's right. They asked him to take it off. And he complied, you know, he's not a dick, just like, yeah, okay, fine, that's what we gotta do to be here. And then they asked us to leave, and at that point, they discussed a little bit that it is the word that there is Antifa here, and Miguel, you're well known, and the admin knows about you. I'm sure they probably saw my video about the River Ridge High School, and they're like, yeah, we don't need these students to be encouraged and made to feel like they're doing the right thing. In fact, when we got there, a little update on the situation. The numbers had really fallen deeply from the week before. So when students showed up, there was an agreement made to negotiate with the administration during the day. However, as we waited for the students to come out of the negotiations with North Thurston Public School and River Ridge's administration, we got booted, right? Now, the students had been informed that there was a response from the school. And what did they say? Well, they added a little caveat to the demands that the students have made. They specified that in new cases of sexual assault or rape or harassment, any of those categories, they're just going to call the cops. They're going to call Lacey PD, because that is a great idea, right? Calling a cop on kids. Now, you might be like, well, Miguel, that is a very heinous thing, which it is. I agree. However, the issue is that a lot of sexual assault victims won't want to come forward if they know that the cops are going to be immediately involved, if there's going to be legal charges placed against this person. Because you know what people do when they get fucked over by other people in the system? They usually seek some kind of revenge. Who knows? It's not okay. It's not an okay situation. So either way, the students are negotiating. As far as I know, I've checked in with people on the ground afterwards, but yeah, how do you think I responded to getting booted with my friends? I threw a fit. No, we're adults. It's not an insult to the kids, I'm sorry, but it's just a term for what's been going on lately. Look, we are respectful people. We were like, yeah, we understand, whether or not we think it's ideal, and whether or not it very much seems like the administration had an issue with anti-fascism, which is odd, you know, to kick out people who are wearing anti-racist messaging during a anti-racist protest. What the hell, man? But I want to stress that it's not the parents and students, and because the parents and students were respectful, like they didn't care that we were journalists there, right? It was the administration that was like, you need to go. We don't want you here. In which case, they've learned nothing. They seem to have learned very little. Now, the students were informed that the recent response from the school was stop protesting or we're going to shut it down. Can't disrupt school anymore. How dare you hold us accountable for upholding racism and rape culture in Thurston County schools. What a wild concept. But these kids, They did decide to go out on Monday, however, their numbers dwindled. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, just escorted to our car. Little side story. Hey, yeah, I will tell the admin, if you guys really care about your kids, there was a kid hanging out in his car using the protests as a guise for him just sitting in their car harassing people. And you know what? He hurt my feelings, so I would like to see him held accountable. That was so rude. I don't know why you said that, man. God, no, dude, just go to class. Stop being a jerk to people and chilling in your car. Like, it seems like you're anti-BLM. So, anywho, that's the little side story, so that's why I'm here. Sit with a Renair, making it clear that I feel no fear for being anti-racist. Am I right? I'm right, always. I don't know what that poem was, but we're going to continue. Because I want to talk about the concept that us being anti-fascists, you know, a known anti-fascist in the community, and somebody wearing a Nazi punks fuck off little patch. That was nice. It's a cool patch. That's not the same as what's going on at schools, like in reality. And why am I speaking about this issue as well? I'll tell you this. I got booted for being an anti-fascist journalist, for having a strong political opinion, because that's kind of my trend of journalism. Gonzo, if you will. Not only that, but for somebody holding or having a sign that is so explicitly anti-fascist. Now, that's not the same thing, and anti-fascists have not been doing anything at the levels that members of the far right are doing in this county and schools and nationwide. It's a little concerning. Now, of course, I don't deserve to not be allowed to go interview students for the Cooper Point Journal, talk to parents, talk to people about the issue. I don't deserve to be kicked for, I don't know, being an anti-fascist, but it's okay. We're respectful people. We leave. We're not going to cause a fucking scene. And to the fact that you kicked out my comrade as well for wearing the patch, what the hell? Either way, whatever, you know, my day continues. But I want to note, our response was kind of refreshing, I think, for all the issues that, number one, the students have had with agitators. But number two, the problem right now with the right wing going to kids' schools. You gotta stop. Leave your kids alone. They don't want to see you. That's why they're at school. You don't want to see them. That's why you send them to school. They're your babysitters, if you will. Now, regarding protests, I want to just start off by warning people that Patriot Prayers, Joey Gibson specifically, the founder, is trying to call for a weird protest on Wednesday. He wants it to be statewide across Washington state, and he wants parents to show up at their kids' schools right before the bell rings and stand in the hallway like a mob without masks. And then when told to wear a mask, they're going to say, no. That's concerning. Not only for a lot of reasons. However, if you take a look at the flyer, I had somebody ask me about it, and they're like, well, it says they're going to be respectful and no violence, and actually they're going to leave once they're told to wear the mask, which is, why would you believe that? Are you really trusting the words of this guy? This guy. This mother.
There's a public sidewalk. There's a public sidewalk. There's a public sidewalk.
This guy who before every rally will be like, oh, we don't have white supremacists here, and has brought KKK members. And has, I don't know, the Proud Boys come out. Like, he is a fascist. In which case, leave. You know, go. You were dismissed. And not only that, but he is directly responsible for multiple violent events. Alright? The footage I just showed you there is not only from the storming of the Capitol on January 6th, but his incidents with protesters. He's a violent dude. He likes to start shit. And in that instance, you know, it's concerning. So he's trying to lead people to do this. Let's see what happens. For those asking, for Thurston County, there are not any specific threats. So we should be okay here, but it's going to be statewide. A lot of schools. Everett, like, God. The reason that we're talking about Joey Gibson is not only is he trying to organize these school-wide events, there is a rally happening on March 5th in Olympia, Washington that people need to keep an eye on. It's Antifa, the Antivaxxers, going up to the Capitol. It's called Government Resistance Impedes Tyranny. GRIT. Like, I don't even know what that means, and that's weird. Because, you know, like we note, Patriot Prayer and Joey Gibson brings out a bunch of violent fascist extremists who really like to get into fights, and maybe you should not bring those people to schools. You know, like, please stop. Please. There have been a lot of issues with right-wingers showing up at kids' schools, like I was saying, right? First of all, I want to show you this footage.
You guys, this is huge. Gotta get the word out.
Yeah, that Patriot Prayer's Joey Gibson was also involved in. Wow. Basically, a student was asked to wear a mask by staff. And basically, she's 16 years old, just calls her mom. And her mom puts out this Facebook post calling for all patriots to show up. Well, the Proud Boys showed up en masse. And they're screaming outside the school for, like a goddamn 3 hours. All day. They locked down the school because they had a violent mob dressed in tactical gear, dressed in, like, matching colors. They're a gang, you know, showing up to kids' schools to intimidate them. It's a little, odd. It's odd. Seems a little yucky. However, there's not only that incident. We've also had the issues we've seen in Tennessee where a parent went into the schools looking for a principal with zip ties. We've seen all of the footage from them showing up at school administration, school board meetings. It's from Tennessee where, again, they were just screaming at and threatening to show up at these administrators' houses. You know, like, come on, it's a bit weird. And I think that's it for today's episode. I mean, we're going to keep it short, but we're going to talk about Joey Gibson in the future. There's a lot of things he's done. Like I said, storming the governor's mansion on J6, the cider riot incidents, multiple events at Planned Parenthood in Olympia. We're going to break into it. And I hope you dig the show, comrades. So our last word is going to be to the Antivaxxers. Stop. Go home. Stop showing up at kids' schools to scream at them. Please. Like, for the sake of people's sanity, everybody's done with this. I think I speak for humanity when I say that. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. There's also a lot of anti-mask attempts for schools to be organizing being made, and I don't know. Things will play out as they play out. Comrades, I'm tired now, you know. It's been a long day. So, I want to go ahead and wrap up. And oh, shit. I slipped on the chair. It's not what you think it was. We're going to wrap up. And thank you for watching The News Left. Again, if you would like to contact me, you know, work on shit together, or if you have tips, or if you have suggestions, or if you have love notes, or if you have hate notes, or if you need a friend, or if you need an enemy, I'm here, comrades. And you can reach me at Allegedly Miguel on Instagram and Twitter. I've been getting a little more active on the Twitter lately. I think it's funny. It was a good... We'll see how it goes. Anyway, adios, comrades. Ba-da-da.
Are you okay with this?
Are you okay with this? I am not. Comrades, I'm on the ground live here at Ribbon Ridge High School in Lacey, Washington.